Hello YouTube, this is 2A Enthusiast. I'm here with a review of the Beretta Pico. It's a 380 auto concealed carry handgun. It comes with two magazines here. One of them is just a regular 6-round magazine. It's flush with the bottom of the gun. And the other one is a 6-round with a little bit of a extended grip to make it a little more comfortable, because as you can see, well, now you can see it's a very small gun. I have large hands, I guess, and as you can tell, you don't really get too much finger on. You get the middle finger, a little bit of this ring finger, and that's really about it. Not too much space there. This is a gun I want to love. And notice I say I want to love it. I don't necessarily love it. One of the reasons why is because it is not the easiest gun to use. I have seen reviews with people complaining about the trigger pull and pulling the slide back, and I kind of didn't really think too much of it. I just thought maybe they should have eaten their Wheaties in the morning and they'd be better able to rack the slide, but they were absolutely right. The slide is a nightmare. I actually kept the slide racked for a few weeks just to try and toughen the spring, make the springs a little more broken in, and it's really done very little. I'm a pretty big guy, and it takes a lot of effort just to pull this thing back. It's pretty tough, actually. The trigger pull, as you'd expect with a handgun that does not have a safety, it's a very tough trigger pull. Let's see here. Very tough there. Now, those are kind of the bad things. One of the things I'm not too fond of is the magazine release. I'm used to a magazine release right around here where the thumb would be. This one you actually need two fingers I should say, to pull it out, and the magazine will drop out just there like so. Now on the bright side, if you use this magazine, you can actually get all your fingers on here, which is a nice thing. It's always pretty nice. The other thing about the gun, like I said, it's a little small. Now let's go over some of the good things. Good things is there's really nothing here to snag. So if you do have this in your pocket, it's not going to pull on anything or the edge of your pants. The sights are really good. Really kind of like the Beretta PX4 Storm sights. Pretty good, which is surprising on a handgun like this. The other pretty cool thing is how easy it is to take this gun apart and break it down. You just basically give it about a quarter of a turn and the slide automatically comes off. The other thing here is that this chassis right inside here can actually come right out. It's only this one screw here. You pop that screw out, chassis pulls out, and you can actually change the bottom with different color grips if you want to, or there are some that have an integral laser, integral flashlight, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, they're expensive. I think they're about $200 if you get the flashlight or the laser put in there. It doesn't really seem to make much sense, because I've seen these guns retailing for around $370 to $380, and it seems a little, and I actually bought this on Gunbroker brand new for about $260. It doesn't really make much sense to spend $200 on a new grip, really, for a gun that you pay $260 for. Little insane there. But if you could pick them up used for a good price, I could see how it would be a good idea. Now, here's the little mystery of this this handgun that drives me up a wall. If you look inside here, it's pretty basic. The slide, by the way, this is all very well machined, good fit and finish. Now, when you look at the guide rod here, I've never actually seen a handgun with two recoil springs like this, and we have the barrel right in here also, just like you'd expect, basically. Nothing earth-shattering there. Now, we have the spring, and we have the guide rod, and we actually have two springs. Now, I've read an article where someone said they actually took this spring out, and I guess Beretta says you should not take this spring out. The gun actually would seem to function just as well with it out for me. Like I said, don't listen to me, listen to Beretta. The only issue is when you put this in here, it's really tough getting the guide rod back in that hole, which you need to do, obviously. I'm really wondering if that's one of the reasons why that smaller spring is there, just to kind of help align it. And like I said, it can get in there and it's not too big a deal. The thing is, it'll take you maybe a minute to get it where it needs to be rather than 30 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. Now when you put the smaller spring back on, like so, and then you put the smaller spring into this big spring here, it kind of centers everything, so it goes right in really with no problem at all. Really no effort at all. So it's it's one of those things where I definitely want to try it without that on there just to see how it works. I had another issue with this gun too. From what I understand, there were actually 2 types of Beretta Picos that were made. The first one had some firing pin issues, and it had an issue with the trigger being a very heavy pull, from what I understand. Then there was like kind of a new and updated Pico, and with a better firing pin. The firing pin actually broke the first time I used the gun. I put a round in and the firing pin didn't work. I checked it there and there was no pin. I guess it kind of fell out at the range and I never even got a shot off, which was a little strange. It's a little awkward to get to the firing pin also. It's kind of right back here and you have to kind of manipulate it a certain way. Now I love Berettas. So this is my 4th Beretta that I own, and I've never heard of anyone having a Beretta firing pin break. I talked to my local gun shop, and he's a gunsmith. He never heard of a firing pin on a Beretta breaking, and it just seemed to like break clear in half. So I had purchased a new one from Brownells, and the new firing pins that they have seem like they wouldn't break. Maybe they're trying to cut corners, save $1 or $2, and they put junky firing pins in. So if you do have this gun, just kind of be aware that at some point you might need to change that firing pin out if you have like the 1st generation Pico. It's really, really lousy. But, like I said, if these springs break in a little bit, it's really not a bad gun. The only thing is I would really recommend that unless you want to have it be really, really small, use these grips because it's really uncomfortable with just the regular grip in. The regular magazine in. And you can see how small it is, like I showed you before. If this is a backup gun and your goal is to make it as small as possible and you have, kind of smaller hands, then I can kind of understand you putting that in there, but it's kind of uncomfortable for me because I can't even get 2 fingers. I don't mind having the pinky flying around, but just not real comfortable. But this other grip does make it so that it's a little better. I feel like a little more to hold on to, So, like I said, I can't definitely recommend it to you. If someone were going to say to me it was between this or say a Ruger LCP, I mean, I couldn't in good conscience say you have to buy this gun. It's fantastic. I think it has potential. I don't think it's really there right now. I certainly don't love it as much as I love my Beretta PX4 Storm, my 92, or my Neos. I think those are far better guns for their classes as far as a 22 target pistol, or carry guns like you'd use the PX4 for. But I don't know, it has potential. I think I might like it more as time goes by. If I can take out that smaller spring and test it with just the 1 spring, then it might be a better gun. Like I said, I'm most likely going to use just these grips specifically because I don't see just this part making a big deal where I wouldn't be able to carry it just because of this little black piece. So chances are, if I do end up using it more, I'll be buying more of these magazines than this one. And by the way, that's another problem. These things are pretty expensive. I've seen them for around $34, $35 a piece, and the ones with these grips are a couple bucks more. Like I said, if you're going to buy the gun, you're going to get extra magazines, I would recommend these. So everyone, this is Two-Way Enthusiast. Feel free to leave a comment or subscribe. That's always nice. Like the video, dislike the video, whatever. Alright guys, see you later.